Welcome to Crown Level Confidence with Kalia Janae, the podcast where we empower and inspire you to achieve unstoppable confidence and self-belief. I'm your host, Kalia Janae, a wife, mom, entrepreneur, as well as a certified life coach and motivational speaker with a background in humanities and communication. I'm excited to navigate this transformative journey with you. In each episode, I'll bring you candid conversations, practical tips, and inspiring stories from remarkable women who have conquered many challenges and risen to new heights. Get ready to have your crown straightened as we listen, learn, and laugh together so we can level up. Let's dive in. Hey, everyone. Welcome to this new episode of Crown Level Confidence, where we are leading women worldwide to lower their stress and raise their levels of confidence. I am so excited to bring to you this amazing woman because, we only have amazing women on the show. And Simara is truly that. So let me tell you a little bit about her, and then we're going to dive into the awesome conversation I know God wants us to have. So Simara, a licensed marriage and family therapist, holds a certification in perinatal mental health and is the founder of Strength and Serenity Counseling, LLC. She places great importance on the profound experience of supporting others and regards therapy as a sacred collaboration between therapist and client. Yes. Simara approaches her clients with profound empathy, boundless compassion, and unwavering sincerity in their treatment. She feels privileged to accompany individuals through their most challenging and daunting moments. Recognizing the courage and strength required to seek help, she is deeply honored to assist clients in their journey toward healing and growth. Don't you just love her? You just want to get all cozy and fix your life. How does that all warm?
That sounds so beautiful. Yeah. Thank you.
I feel like she just gave me a hug verbally.
I love that.
So, obviously, again, welcome. I'm so thankful that you're taking time out of your very, busy schedule. It's no small feat to commit your life to helping other people. And I think a lot of times, and we talk about it on this show, as women, we're kind of expected to do that. But that doesn't make it easy.
Absolutely. Right. It's never easy.
Like, wait, what? So clearly, your professional specialty, and I'm just going to say maybe your purposed passion here is to be a therapist, right? Help people create these transformations. So how can someone use therapy to build their confidence?
Wow. Well, there's a flood of thoughts coming through of I think it's a really powerful thing to trust someone, to show them you're ugly, you're dark. And so I do think it builds confidence in being able to confront some of those things. You don't have to hide anymore. Or you can share in some of your troubles or hardships, traumas, whatever the ugly thing is or the dark thing is, with somebody. I just think being able to be in the pit can help build confidence because you don't feel alone. When we're alone, we're scared, we can get insecure. So I think there is this, I keep picturing just an anchoring and being able to journey with somebody. So I think at its core, that's one of the ways that therapy can help. And then on the practical end, you have somebody just looking from the outside in that might not carry some of the same thought process that you do. And so it could just be helpful to get practicals, tips on ways to invest in yourself that maybe have been hard for you to do solo.
Yeah. And that's so important because, again, as women, especially women of color, we're expected to carry so many others' burdens or be available to everyone else. And then you kind of get stuck wondering okay, well, I've been indoctrinated, or I've been taught how to be there for everyone else, but I haven't been taught or hasn't been exemplified how to let other people be there for me, or how to approach the fact that I need help too.
That's so big. Yes. Yes. How to let somebody be there for me. Mm-hmm. And I guess I want to say too, like, this is a part of therapy where it's not always like you have to have a mental health disorder in order to get help. It could just be like, I'm tired. I'm burnt out. I'm tired of being the one who's always doing X, Y, and Z. Or, I mean, we kind of were speaking briefly earlier, like when we're in other roles, it's easy for us to kind of put ourselves on the back burner. Mm-hmm. When you got the role of mom, of wife, of sister, of cousin, of best friend, and you are caring for the people in your tribe, not only are other people sometimes used to you taking care of things or taking care of them, it also kind of creates this pattern where everybody then gets used to not investing in you. And so to me, I'm like, yeah, this space, the therapy space, can be, for some people, the only time they get to be asked questions about themselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know I have asked clients, and one of my favorite things, especially with women, is to say, like, what are things that you like about you? Wow. Women have cried, have sat there in silence. Like, I don't even remember the last time I thought about something I like about me, because my brain is so focused on other things. So that level of attention, tenderness, and intimacy feels so important, to reconstructing sometimes our relationship with ourselves.
That's huge, because, just to kind of sit on that for a second, we're conditioned to be so critical.
Right.
That it's so easy. I'm sure any number of those women, myself included, probably could come up with a list of things they didn't like or wished was better or were working on to improve faster than what they already liked or appreciated or loved. Well, that's a whole level. Loved. Right. About themselves, right? Because I know, personally, I deal with, we all have things that, no matter how much education we have or how much therapy we go through, we're actively working on things. So I know for me, and I don't mind being vulnerable on my own podcast, but for me, it's this recurring back of the thought of like, oh, you're selfish, right? Mm-hmm. And that's such a dirty word. And so I do everything possible. I'm not perceived. I'm not that. I'll give you my last 10 cents, right? But it's like, okay, well, that wasn't smart. That wasn't, you weren't supposed to do that. Right. But then realizing like, okay, well, I'm pretty legit. Not to be, or vain, I'm beautiful. Okay. Right. I can walk with my head up high. I can wear my tiara. Yes. It's just different things that you will realize that are, coming from places that a lot of times it's from when we're so young, it's always been there and we don't even realize you need to be there until you go.
Yes. More confidence life coaching, right? Like, I feel like in both of our spaces is such an opportunity to take that pause. And I do think sometimes there's an unlearning that we have to engage in of like, I'm so used to functioning this way, or my mom was like this, or the women in my life operated like this. Or I feel like women normally get big ups when they do things that like absolutely exhaust them. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're so awesome because you didn't get no sleep and you work 80 hours a week and you made this meal and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is not the vibe. So anyway, I can go off on that. But I love the idea of taking a pause from maybe how we function normally and asking, what is it that I need? What is it that I need emotionally, mentally, physically that might feel nourishing or investing to me? I feel like when we explore those areas, the confidence is right there, with all of them. So.
So, okay, y'all, you may see her picture, obviously, for the episode cover, but you cannot see how beautiful, okay? Beautiful she is. I'm looking at her right now face to face. And so I say that because she's gorgeous. highly educated, right? Clearly, empathetic. She's got her ethos, her logos, her pathos. They're all looking like they're in order. But I want to know, right? Like, how, this is a personal question. So how do you find confidence in yourself, right? Because a lot of times they're attached to these external things, right? Like how beautiful you are,
Absolutely.
how highly educated you are, or the different things that you've done. And I think it's levels to this. And the attachment shouldn't exist. But I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
How you wake up and step into your greatness.
Well, I'll tell you, and I'll try not to get too long-winded with this, but I think about the different kind of intersections of who I am.
Okay.
So how I find my confidence, like if you look at me, you see Black woman, but I'm also Afro-Latina, and I'm Puerto Rican, don't speak Spanish, which is a big thing.
Big asterisk. Hey, no, don't come over here.
I'm saying, I'm like, my maiden name was Ayala, like clearly Puerto Rican. But I think about finding confidence in my identity as a multicultural woman. For me, it's in stuff like when I'm around my family, it builds my confidence to see features that look like me. You know, all of the Ayalas in my family have the same hands. Like, I
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
But it's like, there's a sense of confidence of knowing I belong, I have a heritage, and it's physically, tangibly, like, evident, Yeah. So that helps me, I think, and sometimes, because I struggled a lot with my identity growing up. And so now to say, I love looking at the kind of next gen stuff on TikTok. I don't know. There's so many things of families of immigrants or different cultures that resonate with me. So that builds my confidence. It's finding things too that validate my own experience. And I think as a Black woman, and often that in primarily white spaces, I love when I go anywhere, to a conference, a training, I'm looking for the other sisters. Like,
yes,
where we at? What's up? And I make it a point for me to make sure I greet them and say, hey, to form a connection. I see you. We don't have to be best friends,
right?
But like, I see you, and that builds my confidence to know, like, I want to show up in this way, and I follow through. So that builds my confidence. I think about my role as wife. I've been married for 12 years. Wow. And thank you. Yeah, it's,
we just got to 5.
Woo, marriage is one of the hardest things I've done in my life. But I think about, I guess I spend a lot of time in thought, and that helps me build my confidence of like, how do I want to be this year, at this period of time in our life, in this phase of our life? Like, how do I want to show up as mom? And so I kind of create these short-term, I guess we can call them short-term goals, or things that I'm focusing on investing in myself. Like, as a wife, when my husband was trying to explore a new career, I wanted to be supportive of that. Through the hard times, being encouraging. Like, for me, that felt confidence building, because I'm showing up in a way that's authentic, that made me feel good. As mom, many of us can, think about how we want to push the needle, like do a little bit better than what our parents did. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I think about what I'm cultivating in my kids. Like, I love, as a therapist, I'm like, y'all got to know how to regulate your emotions. I'm going to need you. I have a son and a daughter. Like, so to me, investing in their emotional and mental health is huge. It's huge. And so it feels good to me when I see myself investing. Doesn't mean it's perfect, because Lord, we all people, we are all people.
Yes.
But it does build my confidence, I think, in being able to give myself the words of encouragement. Like, sis, you did that. Because, I might have wanted to sock my kid in the face because he made me so mad. But instead, I regulated myself, and might have been able to help him regulate. Yeah. So I celebrate the wins as imperfect. And let me let y'all know, I am a therapist, but I am a human first with my own set of traumas and lived experience. And so I try to give myself a lot of compassion and a lot of grace. But I also have a pretty high drive. Like I wanna show up well as best as I can in as many areas of my life as I can. So
yeah. And I think that's evident. I'm excited to continue to get to know you. You are a new connection of mine. And so I don't have a lot of context, outside of what we're doing right now. But I can say it's clear in how you show up. So you're on the right track. You're consistent.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah, she got her lipstick on, her earrings on. She's ready. For an audio only podcast. She said, I'm showing up as me.
But you know what's funny is like, I thought about that as I was getting ready. I was like, this is like, I feel kind of like Valentine's Day. I got a pick a red going on today. And I was like, this made me feel happy. So come on, I want to show up.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's funny in that, I'm a giggler. This is not 60 minutes, but it all matters.
Yeah,
it all matters. And, I've had a lot of different, jobs and different things in my life. I worked at a call center when I first moved to Georgia, and they would say, put a mirror, in front of the phone to keep you mindful of how you're communicating, right? Because the person, they can't see you. And so a lot of times when we think someone can't see us, we might be making all kinds of facial expressions or daydreaming in the conversation or, whatever. And if you put a mirror right there, you're going to smile at yourself, you're going to be happy at yourself. And so, it can make a difference. And now in this virtual world that we are navigating, right, especially since the pandemic where everyone was like forced to be virtual or get into the virtual space, it's so easy, right, to be like, all right, well, they're not going to see me anyway, or I don't have to leave my house anyway, so what's the point? Well, the point is it's always for you and not really for them anyway. So put the lipstick on or the chapstick, or I filled in my eyebrows. So, I wasn't going anywhere, but I was like, this is important to me. Okay, I put my hair up. This is different things that affect how you show up, right? And how you have the ability to be authentic or be genuine, right? I'm not saying you need to. Now, if you don't normally wear makeup, and you don't know how to do it, I'm not saying you just need to do something arbitrary, because that's not you either.
Right.
But ultimately, and something that I help my clients with is ultimately, you need to do what represents you, but you have to know who and what that is first.
Right.
You can't authentically step into a space if you don't know authentically who you are. Right? If you haven't come to an agreement or understanding inside yourself to be like, this is non-negotiable, or this is what I stand for, or this is how I best feel. If you haven't taken the time to determine those things, you won't know. You just be kind of hit or miss, or whatever the wind blows me. No, ma'am, no. I always say you can go with the flow, but you should also try to help determine the direction. Yes. I'm like, because I think there's so much flexibility, freedom, and power in being able to know.
So when you said agreement earlier, I was like, absolutely. An agreement with yourself, like of what feels, because most of the time, I'll be honest with you, now my eyeliner or eyebrow fillings, that's essential for me. But most of the time, I'm coming up in a hoodie, and that is where I feel very comfortable, very confident. So absolutely, confident can look like anything, anything. But I love that idea of just exploring, what's your terms of agreement with yourself, that feel good.
Yeah, and a lot of people who have been following me or been associated with me over the years, they'll know I'll switch a hairstyle. I will switch things up so often. My husband, he just goes with it, right? Like, okay, what's today? But it's because I want to know, right? If I want to know what I look like with purple hair, I'll go buy some purple hair to find out.
Let's go. I love it.
And because I want to know, and I don't believe I should have to not know, right? I use that as an extreme example, but the point of it is taking the time to give yourself permission to try new things when it comes to your appearance, right? If you normally wear pink lipstick, wear purple, try a nude, right? Try orange. I don't know, but you won't know that it doesn't look good if you don't just try it.
Let me tell you something. I legit have a client who was like, I don't know if this color looks good on me and I'm scared to try it. And I was like, sis, bring 5 different colors to our session and we're going to spend about 10, 15 minutes. I'm going to be real with you now.
Yeah.
You know, but it's so fun, like, to be able to give yourself permission to have fun and explore it. Like, it doesn't have to, you're not signing a contract, you know, with any way that you look. So I love the fun that gets added to that. So, like, try yourself out, see what you think.
Yeah, it's a process. And I talk about societal norms a lot, but really when you think about it, we're expected to show up perfect. And we're not really given a lot of room or really taught to receive room about the progression phase, right? Like, a lot of times is limited to adolescence. And even then, in today's social media society, that's been even shortened. You know, we expect our babies to be camera ready and our child to be reading on TikTok and stuff. And it's like, man, when do people have a chance to grow, right? When do they have that awkward, thick eyeliner face? When do they have it doesn't exist anymore. It's so sad. It's so sad because there was safety in that, and knowing, okay, everyone understands, like, I'm a work in progress, I'm growing. Now it's just like, you know, even as a mom giving birth, and then it's like, okay, well, you're gonna get your tummy tuck. No, like, I just got home, you know. I'm gonna be here for a few weeks and then figure it out.
Right.
But all of that to say, don't look for permission from anywhere else. You give yourself the permission. You know, if you want to get that haircut, now see a professional stylist who will give you a real opinion about your facial structure.
Right.
No DIY things. But the point is, you know, be willing to accept that professional advice. There are people that want to help you grow or help you take that leap or go on a new adventure, travel to a new place. I say, you know, you can do anything that you want to do. You just need to do it well. Right? Do your research. No, not analysis paralysis, but put some effort, you know, into making a solid plan. And I think anything can be planned out. And I really do mean anything. And not like from a control standpoint, but just what should you expect to happen in a situation, right? Like, you want to leave the country? Okay, let's get a passport, maybe. Let's consult a travel agent that can tell you, okay, this is a hot zone, or there's war over there, or they don't like Black people. Like, there's some things that you just need to educate yourself, the local laws, before you just book that trip and say, I'm in the passport club. Okay, that's great, but you get arrested over there because you didn't know the rules. No, it's real. You'll be mad, like, Biden, come bail me out. And it's like, oh, you should do some research. Right.
You know what, though? I'm like, in so many different areas, getting the right kind of support, someone knowledgeable. I love that you're saying, like, yes. But that goes back to, like, allowing ourselves to be helped, you know? Because we don't have to know it all. We don't have to do it all. In fact, I think it's kind of, I was almost going to say, it's not a waste of time. But I do think it's not the best use of time, always, to do it by yourself. So I'm like, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room or the expert on whatever topic it is, but go find the person who is.
That's what I had to explain to my husband one time. You know, we bought our house and we got all this grass. We're from California and now we live in Georgia. So grass and water are like these new concepts. And so he's like, yeah, I'm going to mow the lawn. And I'm like, all right, cool. But how often though? Because the landscape is going to do it. They're going to show up every week at the same time. They're going to split it up and be out of here. And you want to take like half a day. And now I don't want to crush your dream because you're a homeowner. Things, but do you have to be the one to do it, right? I remember he wanted to clean the gutters. Our house is like 3 stories. I'm like, I don't really see you up there because if you off, I need you to go to work the next day. You know, I joke about it and I laugh, but it's true because it's about like, okay, well, you go to work to make the money, to use the money to do the stuff that you don't have to do yourself. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make you some kind of thing because you've got all these other people working for you. Like, that's what it's for. It's an industry. And so
wait a minute. We need to say this again for the people in the back. Okay. I love that. Like, you work so hard.
So hard.
Why not pay for if you can,
Right.
Why not pay for the convenience? Girl, I just want to say, I tell women this all the time, like, let that lady clean your house. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Let the service do the laundry, especially if you have multiple children. Let them do the laundry. You know? Mm-hmm. So I love this. And to me, I do think, okay, short, quick story.
Sure.
I remember when I had my first, my dad lives with us, and he was like, I think you should pay for somebody to come and clean so you don't have to. And I was so offended. Like, I can do this. I don't need anybody to come to my house and blah, blah, blah. It took me years, okay? Years to allow myself the help. And because it hit my confidence, something in me, I had this narrative of like, I needed to be the one to do it all. Lord help me. I'm so grateful for the people in my life who were like, stop tripping. Like my mom's for real. It was I didn't even know they had people cleaning their homes. Like nobody was talking about it. So I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is what we doing? But once I like readjusted how I saw it, it wasn't that I was incompetent or incapable of doing extra thing, but like my life didn't have to be stressful.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that level of stressful. So anyway, to me, I feel like it's interesting too when we allow ourselves to get help. It can feel like a hit to our pride, a hit to our ego sometimes. But now, I'm like, wait till I hit the next tax bracket. I'm just getting everybody.
We're about to have in-home employees, y'all.
Listen, I just found out that there's a family manager. That is a title of I'm like a family man, somebody else to remember all the things. Mm-hmm. I'm not there yet, but wait till I get there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
You know, we so we're on baby number 2 right now, and God willing, we want to have more kids. And I told my husband, I said, okay, well, in the next house, we need a room for the au pair.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'll make them. And someone's got to help me. So we have to have that room because she needs a spot.
Yes.
I'm telling you now.
Love it. Love.
But all jokes aside, again, it just takes, you have to be we're approaching the end of our conversation here, but just really quickly, you've got to be exposed before you can get expanded.
Absolutely.
Right? So it takes, and another E, because I'm nerdy, another E is the education, right? Like if you're only taking in, and I can't even think of something to use as an example, but if you're only, taking in, I don't know, mainstream pop or rap or hip hop, I don't know. Clearly, I'm not really in the game like that, but you're only taking in a certain kind of content. Let's just say it that way. Mm-hmm. And you're concerned about whose baby's with who and what city they're touring. I don't know what the cool kids are talking about these days, clearly, but your only concern is other people's, news about what's happening in their life, and you're so invested in team this or team that, and nothing to do with bettering yourself. Well, if you're listening to this, you clearly want to better yourself, but you know what I mean? Think about the ratio here, what you're putting in and versus what you're putting out in terms of your effort or how you feel your progress in life is going, right? What's that ratio look like? And so it's something that I always say, especially on Facebook, is, are you thinking about what you're thinking about? Mm-hmm. Determine, everything else. So you have to you can intentionally put yourself in spaces or meet new people that are going to expose you to new things, so then you know it's available, and then you can see yourself getting it, but you'll never even ever have the thought that it could be for you if you don't even know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. So I do. It feels like a weight off his shoulder, like when you are able to be exposed to something different in a way that just can refresh your soul or shift something huge in your life. I think that's so big.
So I don't have a buzz or any special effects, yet. Maybe one day. But right now, this is the part where we call the final word. Okay, so sis is parked. She's about to get out of the car. She just got to her next appointment. We're wrapping up the episode. So please share the final word. Now, it could be something we already talked about or something you're like, hey, this is what I really want you to make sure that you remember from this conversation and take this and conquer the rest of your day.
I would say, I want you to practice speaking kindly to yourself. Acknowledge the wins. Acknowledge the wins. There are so many things that you do that are beautiful, powerful, giving, courageous. Look at those things and give yourself some love verbally. Say it out loud. Look at yourself and say it to yourself. Give yourself credit for all that you're doing. I think if we acknowledge those goods, we can invest in our confidence in that way.
Wow. All right, y'all. So that's your homework.
Exactly.
That's your homework. You know, in therapy, they be giving you assignments and stuff. That's your homework. But in all actuality, yes, you know, you need to, take a moment, right? It's a quick moment. Close your eyes if you need to. And I like to measure things. So I'm going to say at least 3 things. You need to come up with at least 3 things, right? That you know you do well, or that you're excited about, something that you're good at, something that you love about yourself, right? And start there. Then once 3 things become easier, next time you do it, then shoot for 5 things. And then just grow the list, right? And then over time, you'll realize like, oh, I'm legit. Yes. And you'll have all of this positivity to give to others, because we can't give what we don't have, right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
And you deserve it.
Yeah. And boom, you deserve it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for your time. I know we have a lot of very busy women and y'all have things to do. So until next time, y'all be blessed and we appreciate you.
I love y'all.
Thank you for tuning into another empowering episode of Crown Level Confidence with Kalia Janae. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found it both insightful and inspiring. If you'd like to be a featured guest on the show and share your journey of confidence and self-belief, please reach out to me at podcast@kaliajanae.com. I'm always eager to connect with remarkable individuals who have a story to tell. And for those interested in connecting with me for speaking engagements or mindset coaching, you can find more information on my website, kaliajanae.com. I'd love to hear from you and explore how we can work together to inspire and empower others. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode filled with actionable tips and heartfelt stories. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd truly appreciate it if you could leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and inspire even more people to straighten their crowns. Remember, your journey to unstoppable confidence is a continuous adventure. I'm happy to support you every step of the way. Keep believing in yourself, keep shining, and always wear your crown with pride. Until next time, this is Kalia Janae, your host, signing off. Stay confident, stay empowered, and keep leveling up.